I guess I've been picking up on some Ophiuchus energy myself the past couple of days. I feel like something just did a little twirl or something on Easter. I know that was weird to say it like that, but that's the energy that I'm kind of getting is like, I don't want to say you're flipping people upside down, but I do feel, yeah. You're definitely doing something. You're stirring the pot. Um, I feel like that energy was kind of dead on. There's a kind of a smug, you've taken something from somebody. I don't know what it is. There's King of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. You could be working with an earth sign energy that you kind of feel a little bit like, haha, like whatever it is that you did, you did it well, right? Um, that is, I don't know if that's good or bad energy. Sorry, some of these cards were already flipped. Let me just, yeah, some of those cards were already flipped. Emotionally, I feel like you're kind of like, you know how you provoke somebody or something, and it's, I hate to say it like this, but sometimes people say things like, oh, well, my demons just trigger, or my light just triggers your demons, or whatever the case. That's fine. If that's what you're doing, go for it. Um, Personally, I feel like when I tell my own truth and I tell it fully in the way, like fully in the way that it needs to be expressed, the truth just kind of comes to light anyway. There's a song, this King of Pentacles really wants to be out here in the reverse. There's a song by Jill Scott. It's called Comes to the Light. I feel like that might be relevant in this specific situation. You might have brought something out or brought something into the light that you had not, that you've been keeping kind of close to your own heart up until this point, like your own kind of existence, if you will. Yeah. So this, I'm only going to get 5, by the way. That is a Libra card. So you could be dealing with an earth sign heavily aspected in Libra. And then also I saw that there was a King of Cups in there. So you could be dealing with a water sign also. Could be dealing with anyone really. Okay, so there could be a little, that's kind of what I was feeling. I'm not going to lie. I got to read the energy how I pick it up. Okay. Sadly enough, I did feel kind of this gossipy kind of vibe from the wanting to trigger someone into almost submission or like this smug kind of out, like I don't know how to explain that energy. It really is wanting to directly trigger somebody in their own home or in their own space or in their own existence. I guess I'll use these. I don't know why I picked these up. That just be careful that you're not trying to, like, you don't have a trigger finger, like pew pew, like I'm gonna, don't do that. Okay. If that's what you're doing, it won't be successful. Whatever energy that you've sent to somebody, it's gonna just flip around right back to you. And unless it was like a really great intention that you were trying to send their way, which usually isn't, when people are like, oh, my light triggers your demons. Yeah, this is you not surrendering. Or I'm picking up on the next set of energies, which I'm going to focus on that actually. So this is the fact that whatever home you were kind of aiming at here, whatever home you had in your eyesight, I'm just seeing a target with an aim. You may have hit the home, but you probably missed in the grand scheme of things. Like you didn't surrender. Like this home is not going to have to surrender anything that they weren't going to surrender already, if that makes sense. Iset is here, and she's suckling. A baby is suckling Iset, I should say. It's kind of just like I'm just seeing honeysuckles, and you know how they've got these kind of drooping. They kind of look like cornucopias that are all, if you've ever seen like a columbine or a honeysuckle, you'll know what I'm talking about. But for some reason, there's something about that. It's like the flowers are still gonna grow. The flowers are still gonna thrive. Whoever you kind of targeted there, you kind of missed. Sorry to say that, Ophiuchus. Yes, this is liberation. So I feel like that's the cornucopia right there. She's holding it. I dare say she's holding it. Okay. This is number 37. I set is number 44. Is number 44. So if you were targeting the number 44, I don't know why I'm hearing 144,000 coming out here, but if that was something that you were shooting for or trying to utilize that energy in a way that was not yours or you did not nurture, because this was in the reverse, that's not something that those people are going to have to surrender. Number 37 shows that she's still, like, whatever energy you thought you smugly got away with, she's still in the field. She's doing fine. She still got her spear, and I kind of see someone hidden in the bushes back here. Is this you, Ophiuchus? This is either this is you or this is you. But this is the smug energy that I was talking about. That she might have been kind of biting the hand that feeds you a little bit, kind of stepping on toes intentionally to get a reaction. This is very, I feel some nefarious energy right there. I'm not going to lie. If you can see that face, there's some man stalking this woman, some man in the bushes, either going to jump out or just observing her in a really kind of awkward way, especially with this, Five of Swords right behind it. Just watch out for the exchanges that you're inviting into your life by exuding specific energies. And I'm talking to myself also. I know exactly which energy I was exuding toward myself. And yeah, it's okay to kind of want to be nosy a little bit, be a little bit nosy, but don't get overwhelmingly all up in someone's business. They could, if you're like in the bushes just looking at them, you're kind of being voyeuristic. If you're literally like about to hop out of the bushes and attack her, now that's a flat out attack. You know what I mean? Either way, understand that those energies go both ways. And it might not be immediate. Some of these are rather, this is divine lineage number 6, and this is number 17, brazen. So you see how she's in deep thought, and this one's being real brazen about collecting whatever they want. It's like, I know for me, I'll just give an example. Whole bunch of solicitation calls at one time from a specific organization kind of lets me know that their organization must be like hurting for attention or for business or for it tells me that they need something from the general public or from my energy source or someone else's energy source to get things going. They're not receiving what they want. That's the energy that I'm kind of cautioning you towards or about. With this King of Pentacles in reverse and the Libra card coming on the upright right after that, you see how she's about to cut out this reverseness? Her sword is already up, and she's not even going to get out of her seat. She's going to stay comfortably seated where she's at and then just be like, sure. And then she'll have her king sitting next to her again. It's kind of like that. I don't know how else to vocalize that. I'm not keeping this. We're just going to know that, this kind of gossipy I feel energy of being like poked at. And that's that, kind of peekaboo energy from the bushes or from the hedges around you. It's like, I don't know why I'm hearing tread lightly. It's kind of like that. You don't want to be if you wouldn't treat others how you want to be treated. It's the golden rule. Okay. So if you wouldn't want to be poked and poked, look at how many different daggers have been poked at her, which is why I'm saying this seems like something happened in excess. Okay. And that most of it was just hogwash. Okay. Make sure that you keep that understanding of the golden rule there for yourself. And I'm not saying don't feel feelings. So if you're really angry, go write about it or go punch a pillow, or punch a punching bag, or go for a run or do something else. I don't know. Scream at home by yourself, but you don't need to invade in someone else's space to get that done. Like, you don't need to scream at someone else, and you don't need to invite other people into this, like, let's all poke at the person, because that's a lot of swords that were keeping her up. Okay, this is 11, number 11, coming out with the King of Pentacles in reverse. So I think you were trying to maybe, like, either this happened to you, so someone was trying to kind of impede your ability to feel pleasure, to take pleasure in what you're doing. If you've got several projects going on, I'm just thinking of all 10 swords. Someone put quite a bit of energy. This is like one big overgrown bramble. I don't know why these words are coming to mind, but they are. If this king is kind of in the upright, is taking pleasure in his seat, right? And having 11 different, I don't know what you want, not like, 11 different projects going on. Don't be the one that tries to trip the person every single step that they take. It isn't a good look. Really just hearing that treat others how you would want to be treated. And I don't really care what other people think about me, what they say about me. But if they're doing a whole bunch, look, there's the self-sabotage and here's the shame. So like I said, I know what my hangups were just now, but don't be the person that shames somebody into self-sabotaging, and don't help somebody. Like, if someone's already feeling down on their luck, don't be like, yeah, you should feel really bad. You should feel ashamed. It isn't kind. It isn't necessary. And the universe has got that figured out. When you go to church and they're like, oh, just give it to God. Do that, whatever God you believe in. But don't take it upon yourself to be the bringer of bad news, the bearer of bad news, or the one that is stirring the pot to the point where, I don't know why I'm hearing the one-eyed snake. I guess it's because I was thinking of the three sisters that have to share an eye. Double toiling trouble. Don't do that. Where that you're looking through the bushes with, like, passing it along. You don't need to hear it through the grapevine. Kind of just dissociate yourself with that energy and the people who are doing it. Here's celestial alignment coming out, and that's with the Queen of Swords. So you could have a Libra who's really very clear. I'm seeing the TARDIS. It's like the TARDIS opening. I don't know why I'm seeing that today. I've never seen that in this card before or perceived that energy that way. But if you've ever seen Doctor Who, this is kind of like Doctor Who is obviously the goat right there. And this is a plant growing right next to her. inside of the TARDIS, right? If she closed her jacket or her coat, you wouldn't be able to see that plant growing there at all. It would look like she might have cut it down, as a matter of fact. So I'm saying, like, what other people think of you, what they do, who they are on the inside, ta-da, voila. Like, it's really none of your business unless they choose to share that with you. And if they choose to share that with you, make sure that it's directly towards you if you're going to take any type of definitive judgment about it. Like, if you're going to cut someone down about something, or if you're going to, this is just, I'm also seeing, this is just reading the cards, obviously, but you see how her hand is just beyond the blade there? It's like, don't cut your own hand off. Don't cut your own nose off to spite your face. Don't cut your own hand off so that you can say, well, I know how to relay a baton. Well, you don't if you cut your own hand off. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be harder to relay a baton with anything besides that your dominant hand. If you've ever run, any type of relay race, you would know that, it's just one of those pretty simple. I think it's kind of obvious to understand what I'm trying to say, is that just don't cut your nose off to spite your face. Don't leave your nose alone. Whatever you know is what you're supposed to know. Don't go digging for information. You don't have to try, maybe. You don't have to try very hard to receive answers that pertain to you. There's miracles. Secrets revealed and miracles, okay? This is number 36 and number 42. So I don't know how that pertains to the gossip, the spearheading of I just know, like, when someone's ogling you really hard, right? Or if you're Googling a lot, like looking things up a whole bunch, that's fine, do that. But don't necessarily take that information and make it like a fact that you're going to share and spread with everybody that you know, unless you know it to be true for yourself. If you're speaking the truth of yourself, and if those facts back up the facts of the matter, then yeah, do that. But being nefarious about it is not nice. Okay? So your secrets will be revealed in due time. But until then, she's just kind of harvesting. She's harvesting what she already knows to be true. She's holding, I do want to say, this is the kind of the plant that she's been growing for herself. She's kept it to herself. She's not said, oh, this is what I'm going to be presenting to the world. She's just been, planting seeds, watching them grow. And, it's kind of, it's not your business, or at least not yet. Maybe it will be pretty soon here. This is number 41, by the way. And like I said, this could be an earth, or excuse me, any of the air signs. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Kind of keep it kosher until it's time. That's all I can tell you about that. I'm going to use the oracle cards, and then I'll let you get on with your day. Yeah, automatically I'm seeing risk, and then, love and partnerships in the reverse. So this is number 43. This is number 2. Just be careful, because you can actually shoot yourself in the foot, literally and figuratively, when you speak too soon, when you speak too much, when you don't speak enough about your own personal truth. I know for me, I'm working on patience. Not only the way that we nurture like patients or people that we're helping to nurse back to health again, but also with patience and time-wise, timing, having patience and timing. Okay, there's suffering, or excuse me, shadow coming out in the reverse. So something about this shadow self really needs to surrender in order for you to feel like you're at home. I don't know why I'm hearing homeward bound, but I am. This is number 25. The shadow is number 25. And then this is coming out on top of I set with surrender in the reverse and this home card. Okay. Make sure that listen, you can be as sassy as you could possibly want to be. You really can. You can be as sassy as you want to be. Just make sure that you're keeping it to yourself. Like that's screaming into a pillow, right? But when you take your sassiness out on other people, or when you lash out at someone else, or when you do something intentionally to hurt other people and think, aha, now they have to go through blah 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 blah. That's when you've overstepped the line. Okay? That's when you've reached a little too far into someone else's business, into someone else's livelihood, into someone else's life, and it becomes damaging to everyone. Right. So here's boredom. Go ahead and let yourself become completely bored with anything outside of liberation. If you're bored of being free, this is number 37, and this is number 4. So there's that home energy again. That's what I'm saying, is this home is not going to be like being smug about something is not going to affect the home. The home is going to get bored of you trying to be smug and attack it. But I don't think this liberation right here, you need to get bored of looking through the, trying to see other people's business. Trying to, you know, sneak a peek. It becomes redundant. It becomes no longer productive. And that's kind of what this energy speaks of right here. This woman she's not losing any sleep. She's not, I mean, once she realizes that she's got a stalker, then yeah, she might lose some sleep. But I don't think that's the stalking energy right there. And that's the only reason why she would be harmed, hurt, or otherwise stressed out. Okay? Stressed out. That's the only reason, is to realizing that something is following you as you're walking, following you while you're doing all your projects, while you're tending to your garden, minding your own business. Look, she might have gone out into the middle of this garden, in the middle of this field, right? Just to scream at the top of her lungs and get some steam off, you know? And if someone's following her, listening to everything that she's saying, and then running back to the group, like, guess what I heard? That's the kind of gossipy, yucky energy that's here. Everybody deserves to have a safe space for themselves to exist without constantly being judged, without having to be considered boring, without having to be considered, oh, she's asking for it. I don't know why I'm hearing that, asking for it. Boredom being free. Boredom being free does not mean that they want to be occupied by anything that you may have to offer, or that, you might not want to be occupied by anything that other people have to offer. That goes both ways. So just keep that part in mind also. Here with the King of Pentacles and number 11 in the upright. King of Pentacles is in the reverse, keep in mind. Okay, so there we've got loss. Remember how I was telling you about this King of Pentacles being in the reverse? Thinking that someone took pleasure, thinking that this is either, Ophiuchus, I'm not going to say it again. You apply it the way that you already should know how this applies to yourself, okay? It's either you or someone else doing this to you, okay? I told you this Queen of Swords was just going to be like, nope. And then this was going to be upright again, right? Okay. So you'll know which one is which for you. Someone was taking pleasure in kind of putting you out of sorts or making you feel like you're going to take a loss. You're going to take a loss. You're going to take a loss. You know what I'm saying? Like repeating it like they're like a scratched CD or something, like a scratched record. You don't need to re-record that over and over and over again. Once you get it through your head that you're going to take pleasure in something, I'm going to take pleasure in my garden. No matter what happens, whenever you go to your garden, you're going to take pleasure in it because that's something that you've already decided to do. If that makes any sense. About, it's not about anyone else's garden. I can look across the way and see my neighbor's garden and be like, wow, I really like that honeysuckle I see over there, or whatever. Okay. The hydrangeas, whatever. I can do that, but it doesn't mean that I sit there and wish or pray or want for their garden to be anything besides what it is. I care about my garden. And that's the only one that I can really affect one way or the other, right? So this is number 5 and this is number 11. I feel like all this, the brambles that I was talking about, that's your own garden. Stay in your own garden. Okay. Stay in your own space when it comes to that kind of stuff, because it becomes kind of difficult when you have to learn by living it that, you don't really, someone else's blessing may look something to you like it's just grandeur and that it was just given to them. But with this number 44 and number 25 and the home, this is 1111, right? This is number 25 and this is number 44. Understand that sometimes what other people have gone through in order to have what they have, to be who they are, is not something that you would want to go through. Accept your blessings, enjoy those, okay? Denial in reverse. So this is number 22, coming out with the celestial alignment, the air sign card, as well as denial in reverse. Like that's what I was saying is don't, denial is more than a river. So just make sure that you don't deny yourself the space to feel these feelings. If you need to gossip to yourself. I gossip to myself all the time. What I don't do though, or what I'm trying not to do, I'm positive I'm not perfect. However, even though I'm positive I'm not perfect, I know that I put an effort into not going out to gossip to other people about other people. Not consistently. So, yeah, number 22 in reverse being denial, and then number 41 in the upright and the Queen of Swords. This is just you making a definitive decision. Look, I can slice this rainbow any way that I want to, right? Or I can keep all of it inside of my TARDIS and close it whenever I feel like. Doesn't really matter, but I'm not going to deny myself feelings about this, either for or against. But I'm also not going to go out and cut my own hand off because I feel some type of way about this. The way I treat other people, let's just say, the way I approach other people, the kindness that I'm able to show them or not, does not change based off of my opinion. I'm not going to deny them that personhood, their livelihood, their decisions, even though they may be vastly different than my own. Okay. That being said, exhaustion is here in the reverse at the bottom of the deck. That's kind of what I was saying about these guys here. The secrets will be revealed and miracles will be had. There's the secrets, there's the miracles. You see those two helping hands? Two helping hands coming up here. Don't chop off your own hand. If someone else chops it off, that's not your, I guess, that's not your, they're going to do what they want to do. But these secrets will be revealed in time, and you will not become exhausted as long as you're not the one that did it. If you're the one that chops off other people's hands just to, just out of competition, because you're not tired of competing. I need to just put this down so I don't. All I wanted was a 2 from here and 2 from here. If you're not tired of competing, this is exhaustion and competition, number 20 and number 17, then the miracles and the secrets revealed will make you that way. Okay? So that's just what the universe does, and it's not a threat. It is literally showing you if you're gonna compete or try to get ahead in a very dishonest way, you're gonna become exhausted. This is exhaustion in the upright. We've now flipped that exhaustion energy right over on its head. That is the Libra saying, you know what? You just exhausted this King of Pentacles. I'm going to go ahead and cut that off. Here, let me cut that off. I'm not saying your hand. Maybe she's picking the hand up off the ground. Maybe she's picking the hand up and handing it back. Okay? Like, you see this little yellow ball? She's probably picking it up and giving it back to him. Just a thought. But that's your reading. I hope it was helpful. I don't know that there's any more to take away from this, but I hope that it was something that you could benefit greatly from.